BTS News Today. In the darkness of a silent night, away from the glare of cameras and the hustle and bustle of the outside world, two big names from global group BTS, Park Jimin and Jungkook, are back in the spotlight. This time not because of a new song, stage performance, or collaboration project, except for a meeting that took place secretly in a military barracks in the middle of their conscription schedule. That night, Jimin and Jungkook are seen spending time together with an unusual atmosphere. Intense, emotional, and full of secrets. The meeting was not officially announced. No photos from the agency, no notes from the media, not even one of the military staff is usually open enough to the interaction of celebrities on duty. But as always, the keen eyes of the army, BTS's loyal fandom, caught the small clues that led to this big story. Some anonymous eyewitnesses who were also on duty at the same place called that night. Jimin arrived suddenly and without escort to the barracks where Jungkook is on duty. Time of arrival? After the evening apple jam. What really happened between them that night? Sources said that Jungkook immediately left the main room to personally greet Jimin. The two then talked for quite a while outside the room, walking under the dim light of a small street lamp in the barracks. Seemed so focused and immersed in the conversation. No typical laughter, no lighthearted jokes. All that was visible were two young male figures talking as if the world around them had disappeared. Some people suspect that the conversation has to do with something very personal. It is possible that Jimin came to convey something important. It could have been about personal life, health condition of other members, even something related to a big decision that might affect their future in BTS. However, not a single exact information can be confirmed because neither Jimin nor Jungkook gave a statement after the meeting. Interestingly, the next day, Jungkook looked much calmer than usual. One of his colleagues said that Jungkook looks like he's had a long night, but there was a new look in his eyes. Does that mean the meeting provides relief? Or just carry a heavier load? The army began speculating on social media. Theories began to appear, from a possible emotional breakup, secret plans about BTS, to speculation about feelings that have been hidden. Some highlighted Jimin's visibly different expression after the encounter. In the photos taken a few days later, the smile remains, but it seems to lose a little of its shine. The fans who have followed the journey of both for more than a decade, of course, knowing that the relationship between Jimin and Jungkook is not just a group of friends. They had gone through a young age together, living in the same dorm, sharing the pressure of fame, and grow as an artist and a person who understands each other. So when there was a night that lasted so covertly between the two, it's only natural that the world's attention goes there. Not a few associate this event with the future of BTS. With the remaining conscription time, there are many important decisions to be made by each member. Will they all come back? Will the BTS format change? Is there anything Jungkook wants to convey to Jimin, or vice versa, before a big decision is made? That night remains a mystery. However, one thing is certain. The relationship between Jimin and Jungkook is still deep, complex, and very meaningful. And behind the calmness of the military barracks, they shared something that cannot be described in words, something that even cameras cannot capture, and only the heart can understand. That army around the world may never know for sure what happened in secret night in the barracks. But they know one thing, whatever it is, it matters. That night, the temperature outside the barracks was only a few degrees above zero. Night air that bites the skin, like unable to extinguish the heat of tension between two young men who stood opposite each other in military silence. Jimin, wearing a dark jacket and a thin cloth mask, slipped in the shadows of the long hall where the soldiers used to pass. Meanwhile, Jungkook stands still, but the look in his eyes speaks volumes about longing, doubt, and something that cannot yet be expressed out loud. The two did not talk much when they first met that night. Just look at each other for a moment. Jimin's slow one-liners sound like a long-held apology, and Jungkook's reply sounded like an answer too heavy to share. "I hardly came tonight," said Jimin, almost in a whisper. "But you came," Jungkook said, without judging tone, but also cannot be separated from the emotional tension that has accumulated in his chest. From a distance, the two shadows of their bodies merged in the dim light of the street lamps. Time noticeably slows down. There was no sound other than the swish of the wind, the sigh of breath, and occasionally the sound of the steps of the guard soldiers passing by in another corner of the barracks. According to witnesses who happened to cross the place that night, their conversation didn't last long, less than an hour, but it felt like a lifetime. There was something in that conversation that was too deep to break in a short time. And whatever it is, it seems to touch the most fragile side of the hearts of both. A few days later, the army began to notice minor changes in Jungkook and Jimin. In official photos of military training, Jungkook's expression seems a little heavier, as if thinking about something unfinished. While Jimin, who has completed the initial stages of his training and disappeared from the public spotlight for a while, doesn't post anything on social media, something quite rare given his proximity to fans. Conspiracy theories began to spread on platforms such as Twitter and Weverse. Some fans suspect that the meeting was part of a private discussion about the future of BTS, especially after Bang Hyuk's cryptic statement last month about the group's possible new direction. Others mentioned that the night was one in which one of them wanted to convey something, who have long harbored, not as group mates, except as an ordinary man who carries the burden of the world's hope. However, the biggest speculations come from those who believe that Jimin and Jungkook's relationship is much deeper, rather than just friendship or brotherhood. Longtime fans who have followed their interactions from the Rookie King era to the Love Yourself World Tour, who believes that the dynamics between them are full of complex emotions. Behind the laughter and hugs in front of the cameras, there are many moments of silence, silent gaze, and a sentence that never finishes being said. The night in the barracks was like the last piece of a puzzle that unlocks all those old memories. And many believe that something significant has changed since then. Even after the week had passed, the evening meeting was still a hot topic. In the fan community, a post appeared that linked the moment to the lyrics of an old BTS song written by Jimin and Jungkook. Songs full of symbols, such as promise, still with you, to my you. Every word that once only sounded beautiful is now reread with different glasses. As a mirror of hidden feelings that they never show openly, point one of the army wrote on his personal blog. If true, they talked that night about the future, about uncertainty, and about the relationships that mean so much to them. Then it's not just a conversation of two group members. It was a conversation between two souls who had gone through everything together. And sometimes, it's more painful than a breakup. Some people also began to question whether the night was the beginning of something, perhaps the beginning of a big decision, or maybe the beginning of the courage to declare something that has been hidden in silence. The agency has not released any statements, and probably never will. HYBE is known for maintaining the privacy of her artists, especially when it comes to personal life. But in the world of K-pop, silence can mean anything. And for the fans who have watched Jimin and Jungkook together for over 10 years, they know that when no words come out, emotions are usually stronger than before. They just talk as two friends who miss and comfort each other? Or is it the night of the heart that cannot be conveyed anywhere else? Perhaps there will be no definite answer. Maybe it's not necessary, because that secret night in the barracks was already both of them. And for the world, enough to know that pure feeling, whether it's love, brotherhood, or the bond of souls, can be present even in the desolation and darkness of a simple night.
He found a way to go and change, become an advocate for taking control of your life. Go out and battle, and you think you have a dream, then act on it.